We're live. Jesse Stanton, Alaska man. What's going down, bro?
What's going on, dude? How are you? How's the weather down there, man?
It's pretty cold, mate. You'll feel it's pretty cold if you come down there. It's 54 degrees. So I'm all hoodied up. Dang. I got pants on and everything now.
That sounds beautiful, man.
It is.
It sounds like an Alaskan summer. 54 freaking degrees. Are you kidding me? That's short and flip-flop and t-shirt weather, Trystan.
It's phenomenal.
Full, man.
It is.
It sounds like an Alaskan summer. 54 freaking degrees. Are you kidding me? That's short and flip-flop and t-shirt weather, Trystan.
What the crap is going on?
Full, man.
It is.
It sounds like are you hearing doubles?
So, not now. I was just picking up the link to share it on share the YouTube link. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good.
So I understand we got some special guests coming in today. Tell me about that.
We do, yeah. If you guys are watching this, and if you guys been wanting to get into real estate, or I mean, take a look around, take a look at your lives real quick, take a look at what your relationships are like. You know, what is your health like? What are your finances like? And if there's something that you guys have been wanting to change, we have a guest who has done exactly that. And it's been absolutely amazing because her husband works a full-time job. She's actually, she's pregnant right now. She's actually doing just a couple weeks. So it's been nice to be able to see somebody take this information and go apply it and go do something with it and get a big fat check from it. And not only that, it's enabled them to continue that snowball effect, so to speak. And they've got more deals lined up. And here's what's crazy. They live in a town, Trystan, called Alamogordo, New Mexico. Have you ever heard of Alamogordo?
I haven't.
Alamogordo, as they call it. I used to live there.
Really?
It's a terrible place. Terrible place. So this just goes to show that it doesn't matter where you live, that you can still do this.
Yeah, incredible.
Very interesting. Yeah. So her name is Carlin, and her husband's name is James.
Fantastic. So let's bring them in. So welcome, New Mexico. Welcome to Arizona land and Alaska land. You're kind of neighbors of ours, really, aren't you, over there on the east side?
No, wait, what?
You're kind of neighbors of us from Arizona on the east side of Arizona.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not James, quite as hot, though.
They used to live in Arizona.
Yep, I was in Phoenix for 5.5 years.
Yeah,
it was nice. I like the area.
What did you do? What is your day job that you got?
I'm military.
Oh, nice. So you at Luke?
Yep, I was at Luke.
Oh, okay.
I got stuck there for 5.
That's how you came across this guy.
Yep.
How amazing is that you can have somebody who works in the military, man. Somebody who can deploy at any minute, who is gone all the time. And a wife with children at home who is almost 9 months pregnant.
Yeah,
ready to welcome their new addition into their family. And they're doing this, man. How inspiring is that? How infectious is that?
There's not a lot of excuses left after that, are there?
There really isn't. There really isn't, Trystan. It's absolutely amazing.
We'll be in the hospital making calls.
Oh, it's funny because you think it's a joke.
Yeah, Carly and I, when did we talk? I think we spoke last week or something. And we were making jokes about that. Carlin's going to be pushing and in between contractions, you know, just hopping on the phone, closing deals, man.
That's awesome.
So James and Carlin, you guys got started in real estate when?
Like in October.
Yeah.
October timeframe?
I think it was for Pace's, whenever Pace's, right before Pace's driving for deals challenge that he did. I think it was in October.
Was that in October or November?
It was somewhere around there.
It was fourth quarter. So it was a couple months ago. We'll just say that. So let me ask you guys, how much did you guys actually know about real estate before going and doing this challenge. And then we'll kind of break down a little bit about what that challenge was. But tell us a little bit about your experience before you guys jumped into this.
We bought a house twice from a different country. That's about it.
Yeah, we didn't know anything.
You didn't know anything.
Nothing.
Your realtor did all the work.
Yeah.
Much, yeah.
She'd send us the paperwork and say, "This is what I need you to sign. If you can send it back soon, that'd be great."
Okay.
Awesome. So pretty much traditional real estate in that case, but non-traditional because you were virtual when you were buying the properties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about how you came across real estate investing and how you came across Pace's, Driving for Dollars program.
I went down a YouTube hole. Before, we moved out of the country and moved back, I worked full time. So when we got back, we brought back an additional kid, and that adds up more daycare and, trying to figure out funding and finances and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I dove down the YouTube hole trying to figure out ways that I could make money at home. And after, I don't know, 7 days of YouTube binging and buying books online for crypto investing and stock investment and anything and everything, there was one video that was like, "Oh, you can wholesale houses." It's like, "Oh, okay." So I sent James a message and was like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" He's like, "No, but let's try and figure it out. My friend Jesse does something along those lines. Reach out to him." So I was like, "Okay,
Nice.
well, I'm going to reach out to a stranger, I guess. Let's do this." So I reached out to Jesse, and he kind of pushed us in the direction we needed to go. Continuously pushes us in the direction we need to go, and kind of just stumbled into Pace's Driving for Deals challenge.
Brilliant. That's awesome. So there's so many people that look at so many videos and they just never do anything, literally for years. And I was one of those people in the beginning. I didn't do a lot. I spent a lot of money on training and didn't do enough quickly enough. But it's like the weight loss adage: eat less, exercise more, and you get results. You know what I mean? And it's like same in everything. Take action consistently and you'll get results. And it's amazing how many people, and just don't realize that,
Just one more day.
So,
just one more day.
So from the timeline of what you first learned about the Driving for Dollars challenge, so obviously you're researching for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a couple of months. What was that kind of timeline like of your research?
Yeah. So it was pretty quick because Jesse kind of put us on an idea. He kind of ran us through a basic of wholesaling, right, and kind of told us what we need to be doing, and kept in contact with us, helping us out and everything. And I think it was within a week.
Yeah.
We had gone to some house,
Flopped.
and made an offer for
Way low.
Yeah, way low. But and then I think a week later after that, after just looking for houses, getting a hold of people, is when Pace's thing started, and she jumped right in. So it couldn't have been more than 2 weeks. It was less than 2 weeks.
It wasn't even that. It was like we got a hold of Jesse. If I remember this correctly, we got a hold of Jesse on a Wednesday or Thursday, flopped right on our faces that weekend. And then Pace's thing started Monday. So I guess it was 5 days of being a fish on land, I guess.
Yeah. And then you dove straight in. That's incredible. I think people don't realize how quickly they can get results. So tell me about where you were doing this whole, this marketing. Was it in New Mexico? Was it on your doorstep? Was it elsewhere?
We tried doing the virtual thing, and we actually have some people that we work with now a little bit more in depth on stuff like that. But as far as our personal work goes, I drop the kids off in the morning at school, and then I'll spend an hour driving around just looking for vacant houses.
Awesome. And
how
whereabouts
is that, man?
Whereabouts in the state is the town that you're living?
New Mexico.
So what's it called?
Alamogordo.
Alamogordo. So I just want to illustrate Alamogordo.
Alamo.
Here we go. So it's near White Sands. There's only like 2 cities in New Mexico, aren't there? Really, Santa Fe and Albuquerque.
No, we have Las Cruces too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Santa Fe is hardly a city, though. It's a very decoratedly large town.
You're gonna make
Right.
people angry.
I don't care.
So what I'm going to do is just illustrate to people that think that they need to be in a big market or a big place to be able to basically make money. So Alamogordo is kind of just in the south side. Obviously, we've got Holloman Air Force Base. Probably Area 51 is probably near there, but you'd never see it on a map, I don't think. But how many
Wrong
people?
state, buddy. Wrong state.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I'm British. They don't let that intelligence over to our country about where those things are. See the where is it? So in Alamogordo, so you've got New Mexico, Alamogordo. I'm just looking for the population. Found in 1898, and there is about 31,000 people here. So normally, most people would probably advise that you start, go in markets 200,000 people plus. Now, I think this is great to highlight to people that you live in Podunk Town, New Mexico, due to military obligations, and you found a deal. So I think, let me get rid of this cat. She's climbing around everywhere. Go on, cat, off you go.
Oh, I'm petting my cat right now, too.
Oh, yeah. So you got 31,000 people, which is probably about 5 to 10,000 houses, average 2 or 3 people living in a house. And you found, driving for dollars, you found a few vacant houses. And what did you do?
At that point, we found out who owned the property and then called them.
So you skip traced it? And how do you skip trace it? Did you use Batch, or did you just go to truepeoplesearch.com or something like that?
So we tried a couple different ways, actually. We started out with Batch because that's what was introduced in the challenge. And then we do have PropStream, and we use that pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And then for here in town, I'd actually look on the county assessor's page and then do a true people search because it saves money.
Perfect.
One thing I want to highlight real quick, though, was that before we get too deep into it, like what was that driving for dollars challenge? Because I think a lot of people who are in your position, like they're under the impression they've got to like get all these lists and they've got to skip trace them and they got to spend all this time cold calling and sending out text message and all that kind of stuff. But Carlin, that isn't what you guys were doing, was it?
We kind of went a little bit more of the unconventional way. I tried to do it like the virtual driving for deals and all of that stuff, but I just really like driving around.
So for everybody who's watching who doesn't know, what is driving for dollars and what is virtual driving for dollars? Like, let's break those down just so anybody who is watching this and isn't in real estate and wants to get started, like what is that?
Virtual driving for deals is basically get on an app and just drive through neighborhoods and look at the pictures of the houses and find who owns it.
So like Google Maps or something like that. Like you do like a street view or something, and then you're just like virtually driving down the road.
Yeah, and then at the bottom it has a little tag, I guess. What is that? Like where it says when the last time the photo for Google was updated.
So let's do that. I'm going to bring that up on my screen. We're going to walk people through it because why not just show us what we're doing? So why don't you give me the address of the property? I'll just go there and we can show people what to look for.
Wait, what?
Do you remember the address of the property you guys closed on?
No.
You're always going to remember that one for the rest of your life. It's your first deal.
There's a lot of properties.
There's been a lot of things going on the last couple of weeks.
It was Dude.
I'll find a house. Don't worry.
What up,
I was
Art?
like, I don't just drop the little guy man somewhere on a street.
That'd be
Yeah.
crazy if they winded up outside our house. I deny it.
Yeah, denial all day.
So we'll just come down to this street. We'll go to this house.
Oh, right in the middle.
There we go. So if we look at this, this is virtual driving for dollars. There's a hole in the street, a missile accident. Oh no, they're putting in a fire hydrant. So this is driving for dollars, everybody. And this isn't going to be a very big signal, but we can look at these houses. Already we found maybe not a vacant house, but it looks pretty rough.
That's Alamogordo.
Yeah,
The town needs some love.
The center of the town is just looks that way.
yeah. So we can just go around and look for houses that have got maybe rough roofs. Look for houses that are boarded up. I mean, I'm not saying your town's a shit pit, but look at this one. This is
It's okay.
So this is missing some of the siding on the front of the house. The roof's falling off on the corner.
Oh my gosh.
And if we look down here in the bottom of the picture here, sorry, I've just got my menu pop up. I'll try and get rid of that. Maybe I'll zoom in on this and make it a bit bigger. That might be best.
So what's the address for that one?
808 3rd Street.
808 3rd. Oh, do we?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Is that on your list already?
Yeah, we went down 3rd Street and got all those.
Awesome. Great stuff. So you locked that one up already. So what I'm going to point people to is here. Image capture June 2013. The copyright is 2022, but the June 2013 is when this picture was taken, which is 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago. So this probably isn't a reliable set of images. And you'll find that different cities that you walk around or, virtually drive around in the US, they will have different ages and different times at which they take these pictures. Now, bigger cities, Google are going to drive around much more often. Now, we may find that even on here, I'm looking at imagery 2022 from the sky. So this is modern, or say modern, imagery. We can probably bet that if we go down the main street, the images are probably going to be quite recent. So this one, September 21. Obviously, we're not necessarily buying Wendy's, but why not?
If you go north a little bit, we can find out if it's updated because they just finished a crosswalk.
Oh,
The
yeah.
best
You guys got a Wendy's there? I don't remember a Wendy's there when I lived there.
We have a Del Taco too.
Yeah. So
What?
the way to get around it, at least with the latency of pictures and not being up to date, is if you just do the overhead view, it's usually updated like weekly to monthly from satellite view. If you zoom in as far as you can go without sticking your character down there on the ground,
Got it.
and you can see if a house is pretty messed up usually from an aerial view, and you can actually get that backyard view if they've got like cars and a pool that's got it's empty
If
or
it's
something
green.
like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna say about
Green
that.
pools.
Pools from the sky are easy to spot if they're manky and nasty.
Look at that, guys. Carlin and James dropping all sorts of freaking golden nuggets on what to look for. Woo! Too easy. Ark
This looks
asks,
like
what is Trystan using? In terms of what? Like you're just on like Google
It's
Maps, aren't you, Trystan?
Google Maps, yeah. Maps.google.com. I'm going to type that in here. So we have a beat up house. I mean, it looks like a parking lot. I think this is possibly a commercial structure here. Maybe this is like a multi-family thing. Did I find a nasty pool? Maybe. There's not many pools around here, are there? That's probably a multi place.
It's really surprising too because it gets like 110 here in the summer.
No.
Yeah, it was
104. Yeah, it was a really hot year.
It was too hot to not have any pools.
Right. So what you guys are saying is look in the backyards, look for trash, look for cars. Like this looks like an opportunity right here.
I like finding the houses that have the no trespassing signs.
Dude, you know what?
There you
I
go.
see that all the time. They're the most paranoid people, and they're usually in distress.
Yeah, the no trespassing, beware of dogs, and tinfoil on the windows.
That's for the aliens.
Oh God.
Roswell isn't too far down the road, Trystan.
Right.
It's about 2 hours.
It is about.
But yeah, a lot of this is old, but that's very, very wise words to look from the sky and to just look at those because the images is more quick. So tell us more about what you text them, you skip trace them and phone them, and then
Yeah, I tried a couple different ways with that too. Like I started out with the cold texting, and I felt like we were in the position where, 12 cents a text wasn't something we could really afford. So I just started calling people,
yeah,
and that had really good luck. So I still just call people. If I have the opportunity to just walk up on someone, I'll walk up on them and talk to them.
yeah.
It really just depends. Yeah, I talked to a neighbor of 2 houses that I think we're going to be calling tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. How amazing is that? For anybody watching this, if you paid attention, Carlin said, we started cold texting and then decided not to just because we're on a budget. But still, that was not an excuse for them to not do this.
No.
How did you feel about cold calling? And how do you now feel about cold calling? What has your experience been? So I know James did some of those calls too.
Yeah, James is really good at calling. He has like the voice of an angel on the phone or something, because he can make the meanest person nice. I don't know how he does it.
I literally know that from experience.
Yeah, no, I don't. There was one guy that said he could just listen to him talk to go to sleep.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, so we're working on getting a recording of James reading comps for anyone that needs to go to bed.
And just play it on 1898 James to sleep.
Yeah, ARV 198 ARV.
They sound monotone.
No, you're supposed. No, he's got the voice though. I get a little bit nervous every now and then. So I'm kind of working on getting past that barrier still. But I love calling people, and a good conversation's a great conversation. And I don't get offended anymore when people don't want to talk to me. So that's nice.
Yeah. Well,
How did you feel when everybody was telling you, no, we're not interested in selling?
It really came down to the mindset of the driving for deals, because one of the things that Pace just like drilled into you is the mindset that you have to have. Like, okay, you're going to get told, you're going to call 50 people, 8 of them are going to tell you to F off, like 10 of them are going to do this, 80% of deals will do this. And after a while, you kind of have to like start putting those numbers into account. You're like, oh, okay, that was one of those 8 F offs. Okay, so I just need to get 6 more. And then there's going to be someone that's going to want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I freaking love that.
Yeah. That's great. So tell us about what was your first cold call conversation? How did it go? What did you say, and how did you decide what you were going to say? Because that's another fearful thing for people. Oh, I've never cold called. What do I say? What did you say?
I don't remember how that conversation went. Honestly, I think there's like a little bit of a trauma block there, just trying to figure out what was going on.
We actually had really good luck.
Yeah.
First, within 2 weeks, we had 2 people saying they were going to sign contracts and then they ended up backing out. So it was just, and that was one of those things we weren't ready for. We thought, whenever someone says, yeah, we'll sign a contract, just call me and we'll set it up and everything. And getting past that blow, is I think that one hurt more than someone saying F off on the phone is the someone saying they're ready, and they say they're ready to sign the contract. You get everything set up, and then they just back out. They just don't answer the phone no more. But yeah, I think they went pretty well right away. But then again, yeah, don't really remember it. Might be that trauma thing, you know, where you block out all trauma. So it could have been terrible. I don't remember.
Well, I remember the good things that happen. And now when people block or like back out of one of our deals, we just call it being hectored. That was our first ghost, was Hector. So
that's awesome.
Being hectored.
Yeah, we get hectored. Every now and then you get hectored, but whatever.
Fabulous. I love it. I think I'm going to use that one now. That's great.
So how long were you guys driving for dollars before you got your first deal?
3 months.
No.
I know it took a little bit for it to close. But how long before you found that deal?
A month, maybe.
Not even that.
It was 2.5 weeks, because I called Angelica after I got home from work before the trial ended for D4D.
Oh yeah.
So it would have been 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
So less than 30 days.
So you guys knew nothing about freaking real estate. And within 2.5 weeks, you landed your first deal.
Yeah.
Now James is working a full-time job. You're juggling the kids, and you go drop the kids off, and you take the car and start going and driving for dollars and talking to people, and that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's a very specific routine. So we have 2 kids in elementary school, and then we have our 1-year-old and then the baby on the way. So after I drop the 2 elementary school kids off, me and the baby spend about an hour driving around. We come home. He spends about 30 minutes being chaos. I'll put him down for a nap, and then while he's napping is when I make phone calls. Amazing. So I've got about 2 hours to see what I can work with. Some days I get in 50 calls. Some days I call 4 people. It really depends on, how much people want to talk and if there's a conversation that's going anywhere.
Yep.
So let me summarize this. So you're a mother of 3 kids and 1 on the way.
Yes.
Your husband's working. You're taking the kids to daycare. You don't know anything about real estate. You've been consistent, and within a month, you got at least 1 contract.
We have a couple contracts. We're just working on closing them. Like, we're just working on the dispo end of things.
Yeah, we got our first 2 contracts that same week.
So I just can't believe, looking at myself and other people, how more people aren't getting deals and getting results. People have got a day job. Okay. They might have kids. Okay. Well, between you guys, you've figured this out very quickly.
Is that?
Hold on 1 second. You were kind of cutting out.
No, I don't.
So you got a day job, James. Carlin's a mother.
Yeah.
A lot of people have got day jobs and kids, and they don't have time, and they're not making the effort and being consistent in doing what they're doing to. Oh, we've lost them.
I think they just dropped off.
So
they'll be back in.
Yeah.
So how crazy is this, Trystan? Like, what excuse does anybody else have to not do this?
Yeah, absolutely right.
This is insane, bro.
Here we go.
There we go.
James touched things.
Yeah. It was being weird. It was making robot noises. Scared me.
No, you're good. You're good. So what is your guys' advice to anybody who's sitting here saying, well, I can't do this? I don't have time, guys. I have kids.
Even 2 hours makes a huge difference. You can get a lot done in 2 hours.
Usually all we can get in is she can get a couple hours during the day, and I can get about an hour and a half in at night if I'm lucky. And so it's about 3 hours in total. But, as long as you just have the dedication, I guess. I mean, as long as you have dedication, you can do it. It's not magic.
Yeah, you really, even if you can only make 4 calls, that's still 4 calls.
Yeah. Just do it. Like Nike. I'm not sure I could say that.
You're going to get us.
I'm going to get us in trouble.
That's amazing. Well, I think this is an incredible story and should be much more common than it seems to be. I mean, it probably is very common, but maybe we just don't hear about that. But there's so many that are saying they can't.
We've had a lot of people tell us that this is that, you know, we're going to get scammed, or this isn't something that's really possible, or
Right.
you know, you can't make money doing that, or
it was hard. We had to pep talk ourselves. Like whenever she'd have a down day, I'd have to, you know, tell her, you know, we just got to do it. And the other way around, it really helps to have that support system. It kind of makes everything a little bit easier.
I think it was Henry Ford that said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yep.
You get to own your limitations.
So, Carlin, explain to me a little bit about your guys' mindset going through this, because 9 out of 10 people that attempt what you and James just did, they give up, they fail. One person tells them to F off, and they're like, well, I'm done. I can't do this. And then they got their friends and family and neighbors and everybody else telling them, this is a scam. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Mindset going in, I was like, okay, well, you know, we don't really have anything to lose at this point, because, you know, we had our AC blow up for our house. We had 2 vehicles ACs blow up, and it was just one thing after another. And it was at the point where it was like, okay, I can't really afford to let this fail, for one.
Yeah.
Because being stuck in that pit is a terrible place to be. And myself personally, I was like working on getting out of, you know, an emotional rut, basically. So I was going into it, going on antidepressants, trying to figure out what was going on. And James was standing there like, yeah, you can do it. You got this. And I'm over here like, I can't do any of it. And so starting out was a little bit rough. Jesse got some calls that he got to work me through. My mom got to work me through a lot of ups and downs. And after a certain point, I started reading a lot of different books on mindset. I started
What books were
figuring
you
out
reading?
the one I've read. The ones that really stuck with me were The Go-Giver, Atomic Habits. Failing Forward was a really good one.
I love that book. I read that last year, or listened to it on Audible. That was really good.
Yeah,
I-
that one just makes you feel dumb if you think you can give up.
One of my mentors says success is a series of well-managed failures.
Yeah. Yep. So every time like I'd hit a rough patch, and I'd look at James and be like, okay, this was really hard. And he'd go, okay, well, you failed forward. You're failing forward.
And another thing that he says is, you know, when it doesn't seem that you're going, when it's going your way, even when it seems it isn't, because there's always a lesson to learn from it, whether it's a minor adjustment or a major adjustment, or a completely, not to give up to the goal, but to give up what you're doing to change your tactic of what you're doing.
Yeah. So just making like tiny little adjustments every day.
How much does this cost you to get these contracts and this deal closed?
Nothing.
No, it costs.
What? No, Carlin, that's not possible.
Yeah, no, it costs us
This is a
something.
scam.
No, aside from like doing it like the way we went about it with.
Oh no, yeah, our deals, the ones that we closed. No, I made some mistakes. I definitely paid for programs that I knew nothing about that didn't end up helping. So that was fun.
But they taught you they weren't helpful. So I heard you did some text messaging. You're paying for some gas driving around for an hour a day, and
Yeah.
you've already got a cell phone, so that's technically not costing you any more money to make calls. So what, maybe $100 that it's cost you to get that deal?
Not even.
The
It's
amount
like $50 per deal.
the amount you get paid back makes
So what I'm hearing is experience is an excuse.
aside from money on things that, like programs, it really wasn't.
Yeah. So it sounds like time shouldn't be an excuse. Money shouldn't be an excuse. Experience shouldn't be an excuse. I'm busy shouldn't be an excuse because you made time for it. And mindset is an excuse because all of those things you have help with. Jesse's been helping you in some way, shape, or form. There's really no excuse for people not being able to go and get a deal. And do you mind me asking how much you made from that deal?
Yeah, $7,500.
Wow, what a return on what?
So
$100
$50,
maybe?
and you put $7,500 in your pocket.
For about
And that's just from one deal. Now you guys have multiple lined up.
it's about 3 or 4 hours worth of consolidated work for that one deal. So that's like what, $1,500 an hour you're making off. And
James, you guys got to be shitting me, man. This is a scam, though. I thought everybody said this was a scam. I thought they said you couldn't do this.
Yeah,
that's what they
I thought
said.
they said it was a waste of time.
Are you glad you didn't listen?
That's the
to
hearsay. That's the hearsay.
Yeah, that's it. But that's why everyone doesn't do it.
Yeah.
If everyone knew how easy it was and actually, did it, then everyone would do it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why most millionaires, 90% of millionaires on a global scale, guys, not a national, a global scale, are millionaires because of freaking real estate, man. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a huge contributor to many people. Like Bradley speaking with Pace the other day on the interview they did. He does real estate, but he didn't realize the creative finance side of things, which we're not discussing today. But now that's another area that he's interested in getting into real estate to own Airbnbs and maybe a property for himself elsewhere.
Now, James and Carlin, how crazy is it that you could take that $7,500 and go buy a property with it and start Airbnb-ing it out?
We're working on those plans. Yeah, we're working on our follow-up steps. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. This is awesome. So let's I think one thing we haven't touched on yet is like the actual transaction. Like, how did this whole thing work? Like, what is wholesaling? Obviously, you guys knew nothing about real estate. You guys didn't even what's really cool about this is that not only did you guys not know anything about real estate, I think you only knew me doing this, right?
Yeah. So starting out, we only knew you. We got into Pace's thing, and we were able to expand our community. And even now, the few people we were able to get in touch with have expanded out. So now we're meeting more people and building more connections, and it's just neat. And it's nice because the people that you're meeting become more than just, someone that you can work with or for. However, they're actually, you develop that relationship, you get those inside jokes, you get the humor and the quirkiness of everyone that you meet. So you're making friends while you're making money.
How awesome is that? Yeah, that's incredible. I had a question. I forgot what it was going to be, but yeah. So you're making friends. So how many other wholesalers are you aware of? Have you looked on Facebook for any Alamogordo real estate investment groups?
We know that there's actually a pretty good amount of wholesalers in
what, 3?
No, they're for the size of the town.
There's 2 in town, and then there's the one up in
Cloudcroft,
Roswell, Carlsbad area.
No, Sonia said there's a pretty good amount.
Okay,
I was just interested
with a couple of them.
So there's at least 3 that we know of.
And what was the population? 15,000.
31.
31,000. So, I mean, that still seems like an amazing opportunity, even if you don't work with these other people. It sounds like there's an opportunity to work with these other people and, get together and dominate.
We haven't met any of the other wholesalers. We've met people that work with real estate, I guess. We've met a few like contractors, and we've met a few buyers, but
yeah.
You know what's really cool, Carlin, about your and James's story is that on top of everything that we just got done talking about, everything that you guys are juggling, just life that's happening, and you guys haven't made any excuses. What's really cool about this is that with all of that going on, you guys are like, hey, let's jump into wholesaling. And instead of just taking the next 4 months off and just watching a shit ton of YouTube videos on what wholesaling is and feeling like you have to know every single step, you guys were like, screw it. Let's just jump in and we'll figure this out.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think that is just inspirational as hell, man.
You can do all the research in the world. It's not going to help you.
Exactly.
I mean, you might get an idea of what it is. Yeah, but that's not knowing what something is doesn't count as experience. I can watch a million videos on being an astronaut. Doesn't mean I'm an astronaut unless I go and do it.
100%, man. I freaking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just got to go make steps and do it.
It's kind of hand in hand, though, right? It's like you can watch. It's like negotiating with sellers, for instance. Like you can watch just a bunch of videos and tactics on how to wholesale, or I'm sorry, how to talk or negotiate. But unless you actually are calling people and putting those tactics into practice, you're not really learning them. You kind of know about them.
Yeah, you can learn about gravity, but until you experience it, you don't understand how it's working.
Oh, one of our 5-year-olds learned about gravity today.
Yeah.
Awesome. I freaking love this. So one last thing I want to talk about real quick, guys, is actual wholesaling. Like for anybody who doesn't know, like what is wholesaling? Walk us through like your guys' breakdown of this.
I didn't hear that last part, but I'm assuming you said walk us through the breakdown of. So wholesaling, if I got your entirety of your question, is just essentially going out, finding a dilapidated house, driving for deals, however you want to do it. You want to pay for leads, you want to drive for deals, you want to do virtual drive for deals. Doesn't matter. So then you get the property that, you find a property, you go and you do your research the way that we did it, through the county assessors, or you can do it through True People Search or however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get their phone number, and then call them up. Get to know them first a little bit. Don't just go straight to, hey, I want your house, sell it to me. You gotta build some rapport, right?
Hey, your house looks like crap.
So,
can I make it better?
Yeah, that's better. So you build some rapport, try to find out their situation that you can help with, because you're ultimately there to help them. Then try to work something out. If the traditional wholesale, you offer them a price if they want to take that price. Usually about 70% of what the retail is going to be. Then you send over a contract, they sign it, you get the contract back, and then you start working on trying to find a buyer. And once you find that buyer, you just reassign that contract to somebody else with the escrow company, and you have to go through escrow, open up escrow, all that junk. But
so is there a title company in Alamogordo, or is it a title company you have to use in another town?
There's one in Alamogordo. There used to be 3. Now there's only 2. So we have a few of them.
Excellent. So who put you in touch with those? Did you?
My realtor. I actually was friends with one of the owners of the title company that closed down here in town. just from whenever I bought my first house 8 years ago. My realtor that we're family friends with her. She's the one that we bought this house through. Kind of set us up, so I kept in contact with the title company, and
Perfect.
and then with this new one, we have someone that closed on our house for this house, and she just so happened to be the person that we're going through for the couple deals that we're doing right now. So
Yeah,
we kind of know each other on a first name level right now. So
that's really awesome. So that's a good topic. Realtors and title companies are amazing resources for us. They have MLS access. And if we can find realtors that are familiar with real estate investing, that's even better, because they know kind of our language, they know what we're looking for and how we're looking for things. We might come across stuff that they might be able to list that we can't do anything with because we can't buy it cheap enough. But other times they can, pull expired listings reports for us. So you can go and actually tap on people's doors that they couldn't sell their house. Well, why couldn't you sell your house in 6 months? The listing ended. Is there something that you couldn't get through a realtor that we could offer you? You must be sick of trying to sell your house after 6 months,
Yeah, it's definitely not. We've used her. We've used our realtor for a few things. Is it being just asking what she thinks of a property, and then potentially once we got our properties under contract, potentially listing them on the market and just straight flip them. So
perfect.
It's a great resource, and they're happy to help because they're going to get commission off of it.
Yeah.
So
that's huge.
Yeah, it's a great resource, and I think everyone should at least reach out and start trying to befriend a realtor.
Yeah. And in fact, befriend tons of realtors, because they're doing legwork that we don't need to do. They're talking, I think Jamil was saying in the real estate, what was it? The Astra flipping thing. I'll give you that link later on. Here it is. I've got it right here. There's a playlist. I'll shove it in here. It says that the average realtor should be talking to about 2,500 potential sellers every day. And if you talk to 25 realtors, that's a lot of people that you're indirectly becoming familiar with. And if they've got, 50 people a day they're talking to maybe, and they find that, 40 of them don't want to sell their house, 5 of them want to sell their house that can sell through the realtor. Maybe they list with them, maybe they don't. But there's going to be 4 or 5 others that can't sell through a realtor or don't want to sell through a realtor that they could pass to you in the same way that you could pass to them people that are selling houses that don't have a fit for a 70% less repairs offer on their house that would be a good fit. So you can have that reciprocal action going on. So you can take them stuff and they'll bring you the hoarder houses and the places that they don't want to have a listing. Because it's not necessarily it counts badly against them in smaller markets, but if someone's on the market for 180 days, there's something wrong with this place. So if they think that might be another, blight on their record of listings, they might just rather bring it to you. You give them a finder's fee that goes through the brokerage if that's what they want. Or you just take it, find a flipper that will list through them to sell it at the other end. And they've got a higher level of commission they would have done. The seller gets taken care of. Job's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, what else can you share with us from, what you've experienced? What would you just tell other people to do in your position? You obviously you just started this, so you're finding other people. There's other things other than wholesaling to do, but this is a perfect start. There's a lot of money to be made, either a high volume of deals or a lower volume at higher assignment fees. But you're just going to find your feet. You're going to find your way around. Jesse will help you comp things. Your realtors will help you there. I think you've done amazingly. What do you got to say, Jesse?
You know what? I want to ask you guys, knowing what you guys know now, like just having gone through this the last couple months, seeing what you guys have accomplished, do you feel like your confidence has gone up more? Like with every little win, Like, do you feel like your confidence is going up just in the whole, not only just, talking to sellers and all that kind of stuff, but just in seeing the vision and the potential to what this could become and what this could do for you and your family?
I think once you get your mindset in check, even your failures boost your confidence.
How
After
so?
the sting.
After the sting, then you can look at your partners and be like in this case, I can look at James and be like, okay, well, this didn't work. What are we gonna do tomorrow? How are we gonna figure this one out? And at that point, it's not oh man, I can't believe I just fell on my face. It becomes a challenge. Like, how am I gonna make this one work?
I heard a great analogy the other day that when kids are young, they're babies, they fall over, they can't stand up, then they've got to stand up, then they fall over trying to walk, and then they manage to walk, and then they try and trip over and they're running, and then they get to run. As parents and adults, we're encouraging them to just get up and try again and try again. But as we get older in life, everything's against it. You shouldn't bother doing that. That's a waste of your time. It's a scam. It's not going to work. All of these negative things come around, and it conditions us to be blinking. Oh shit, that didn't work. I've got to do something else. I'll give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge thing that you see it that way. I mean, another analogy that I was given probably about 12 years ago is if you take a chocolate bar, you just try and eat the chocolate bar in the wrapper, it tastes like crap. But if you peel back the wrapper and see what's inside as far as the failure, and you eat the chocolate and take the wrapper off, you've got a gift inside. You got something that's sweet and is going to last you for, you got the goodness out of that thing. But it's the same with failures. If you look at a failure and you just look at that was crap and you walk away from it, you don't kind of peel back the story behind it, what went wrong, what could I do better, then you've got the gift inside to take forward with you. Does that make sense?
That's a very good analogy.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
And every situation is like that.
I think just getting past the failure is the biggest one for me.
Yeah. I mean, it took a lot to mentally train yourself, because I think people that have the right mindset are usually doing something to progress, and they're usually on their way up. I think 99% of people out there have the wrong mindset, whether it just be 1 or 2 points to the entire picture. They're missing one part that's crucial. And I think that the hardest part was putting that puzzle back together and growing from it. And it's still hard. I mean, there's still days where it's like, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And then it's like, and then we, build each other up, and it's like, you just got to keep going, because, it's sometimes the no's and all that stuff that wears on you, but next call, just do something a little different.
Yeah.
Next call, do something a little different.
And if you can't get your head out of your butt, then find the people that are going to help you.
Yeah. Get a ratchet strap.
Yeah.
Could somebody, if they want to quit their W-2, could they replace their W-2 in a year?
Easily.
If they did what you guys did?
Easily.
Yeah?
Yep. Wholeheartedly,
So
I believe that.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody watching this? Just one piece of advice. If somebody's like, man,
charges that are going to hold that. So
yeah, our phone's getting ready to die.
What's this last thing you asked, Jesse?
just if there's one person that's watching this and they're like, man, like this is awesome. This is really neat to get to hear James and Carlin's story and how they started and what they've done over the last couple months, but they're just kind of teetering. Like what's one? Oh man, they cut off. They cut off right when the good part.
Yeah.
Right, we were getting that Reese's Pieces undone, man. Getting ready to bite into it.
Hershey's Kisses, baby. Well, that was incredible to hear. I mean,
that was, man.
It's really inspiring to know that, you know, people are actually doing it and crushing it in their first 2 months, and they've got contracts. Some will fall out of contract, but They've closed one. They've done it. They've seen the whole process through, and they're good. They're done. They're on the journey.
It really is, Trystan. It's just a hats off to community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because those guys are in the right community. It's just crazy to see just what happens when you know what? James is calling me.
Is he?
Maybe I can connect him through the audio.
Yeah, okay.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear that, Trystan?
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we heard pretty much the entirety of the question. We missed that last bit.
Just
can you finish that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you just had, if you had just one piece of information for somebody just kind of on the fence watching this, and they're like, oh, this sounds like maybe too good to be true. Is it? I want to jump in. This is really interesting though. I'm not sure. Like what piece of advice would you give them? Or you know what piece of advice would you give yourself if you were in that position?
I think the piece of advice I would give is to talk to people. If you're scared of something, do it. Yeah, reach out to people you would be scared to reach out to, and just tell them, hi, my name is so-and-so. This is what I'm trying to do.
Can you help? And
can you help me? And how can I help you?
People want to help each other. That's why we're here. Like deep down, we're wired to help each other. And to think that we can do it by ourselves is insanity. It's not how our biology is. It's down to our roots. We're here to help each other out. And it's kind of contradicts what I'm about to say. For my advice would be, no one's going to not do something or to hold yourself back because you're scared and you don't know if you're going to be able to do it. To hold yourself back is wrong, because no one's going to, hand you success on a silver platter.
If you were in that position,
you need to work for it.
The piece of advice I would give is,
hold on. There's like a double.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
No, yeah.
You're good.
So I just think, I think that no one's going to hand it to you. But you got to make the steps and you got to put yourself out there. And then once you do, you make the steps and you go halfway, not halfway, that sounds half-assed, but you make the steps and try to get help. Someone more than likely will help you out if you're dedicated and you really want to succeed. But the dedication, you got to stay dedicated. You just got to do it.
I'm glad
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I think that's perfect advice, man. And there's a saying, and it goes, you will never be criticized by somebody doing less than you. Or, I'm sorry, more than you. You'll never be criticized by somebody doing more than you. You will only be criticized by somebody doing less than you.
And Jesse and I were just talking about the power of community, and that was the first thing you really said, was the people around you, and that's such a powerful thing. The community that we're in, that we are building and creating together, and not just me and Jesse, but the real estate community that you've joined as part, through Jesse and otherwise, is just amazing. The power of it is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think some of the people we have our closest relationships to at this point in life are people we more or less haven't met in person. We just have a really good relationship with them because we talk to them on the phone every day. I mean, James knows Jesse face to face. I've never personally met Jesse in person. Yeah. And Jesse, I can safely say, is on the top list of my closest people, because
you can tell when someone's genuine, they sincerely want what's best for you, and you need to surround yourself with people that want to see you succeed the way that you want to succeed.
What you put out is what you get back, basically.
100%. So speaking of which, real quick, before I let you guys go, where can, if anybody wants to get in touch with you guys and find out a little bit more about your story, or needs help, doing deals, doing what you guys are doing, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to reach out?
Facebook. James is the worst about sending messages back, but you can get a hold of me on Facebook.
You can get me too. I mean, it's just, it might take me, I'm terrible about checking Facebook and social media and stuff like that, but that's what she's really good at, and she lets me know everything.
So where do people find you on Facebook?
Carlin Morris, because I can't figure out how to change my last name.
Carlin Morris. Got it. So for everybody listening, go hit up Carlin on Facebook, and she's going to freaking tell you exactly how to start putting money in your pocket with no money down. This is awesome.
Fabulous. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it, Jesse, don't you?
Yeah. Carlin, James, you guys are absolutely amazing. What you guys been able to accomplish, and just what your mindset is, the momentum, the energy that you guys bring. It's infectious, man. It is absolutely incredible. And I guarantee just anybody watching this, I actually just got a text message from a friend of mine in Alaska who's starting wholesaling, and he's starting to drive for dollars up here. And he just texted me, he said, dude, this is awesome. Isham, you're awesome, bro. I'm really excited. I think there's a lot of people that are going to get some value and energy just kind of out of your guys' story. Like I said, just hearing it and being a part of it is really infectious. I mean, it's been really exciting for me to be on the sidelines watching you guys go through this. So it's been really neat. So I appreciate it. I'm honored and I'm thankful, to be in your guys' corner, cheering you guys on with my pom-poms. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you guys very much for being here.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you. Your enthusiasm is what kind of boosted us, so keep that up.
Yeah, your morning talks are definitely a great way to wake up.
I just had 5 Red Bulls.
I'm
just kidding. I don't drink energy drinks. All right. Well, hey, I don't have anything else for you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. And again, anybody watching this who wants to learn more about what Carlin and James are doing and how they can help you do more deals, reach out to Carlin on Facebook at Carlin Morris.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it, James, Carlin. Amazing to meet you, and we'll be in touch soon. Have a great evening, everybody.
Yep, you too. Thank you so much.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.